Hi, this is David McCann for WebTNG. In this screencast, I'm going to take a look at the Crocoblock suite, especially in relation to dynamic data and creating theme templates. I took a look at the Crocoblock suite back in August when the JetEngine plugin was first released. The JetEngine plugin is the one you use to create custom post types and add fields to those custom post types. At the time, I thought that the features of the Crocoblock suite were pretty good, but there were a few rough edges, and there were a few things that I was surprised that were missing. Fast forward 5 months till today, and so much has changed with the Crocoblock suite. The team is continually releasing updates and even adding additional plugins to the suite. The review I did back in August is no longer accurate, and there are a lot of new features that I can demonstrate, so I wanted to make another video. In this video, I'm going to look at not only creating a custom post type, but also creating two custom post types and having a relationship between them, and show how you can show content from a related post type in your theme templates. Additionally, there are two search plugins that have been added, and so I'll briefly demonstrate those as well. I've got here a fresh install of the Astra Pro theme, and I've installed a bunch of the plugins from the Crocoblock suite, as well as a few others. Let's take a look. I'm using all-in-one WP migration to back up and restore the site, Astra Pro, Classic Editor, Elementor, Elementor Pro. Elementor Pro strictly isn't required, but I like to use it also. Jet Elements for Elementor is the basic add-on pack of widgets with the Crocoblock suite. JetEngine plugin you use for creating the custom post types and fields. Jet Search and Jet Smart Filters are search-related plugins. JetThemeCore is used for creating the templates, and the JetThemeCore compatibility kit is used for adding compatibility to Astra, OceanWP, and GeneratePress. So one thing I recommend doing when you start out is going into the Crocoblock settings and turning this on here. What this does is it says that Crocoblock is going to be the plugin responsible for creating the theme templates, because you can also do that with Elementor Pro, and you could have a conflict. Turn that on first so that you don't get some unexpected behavior. You create the custom post types using the JetEngine plugin. We'll create one called Books, a slug of book. I generally go with the defaults here, and we'll say 10 for position. We'll choose a book here from the list, book icon, and then here you select which features you want, standard features from WordPress. So I'll just add these. Okay, so now we add our fields. And I'm going to use these basic, post fields and just add an extra field here, which is going to be the Amazon link, be our affiliate link. So they have a number of field types, but they don't have a URL field type. So text, I'll use text here. And then this is something they added also, which is you can add columns to show in the admin listing, but I'll just go with what we have here now. So that's the first one, books, and now I want to create a new one called author bios, and this will be our related post type. Again, we're going to go with the defaults here. And we'll just take a user here, and we'll add some of the features from basic features, and I'm going to add one field to this. We'll call it author's website. Again, we'll use that as text. Okay, so we have two post types and we want to relate them. You go here to post relations, add new, and this will be book to author bios. And the parent will be books and the child will be author bios. And then you have a choice of if you want a one-to-one, a one-to-many, or a many-to-many. So a one-to-one would mean that for each one books there would be one author. Now you know that books can have more than one author, so you could have one book with several authors, but you can also have authors that write more than one book. So a book can have many authors, or you can have authors that write many books. So we're going to go with many to many. And then we want to add a meta box to both the parent and child page. And what this is, it's just a select box where you can choose the related post. So we're going to add the relation. And one more thing I want to do is create a taxonomy. And we'll call this genres. And this is going to be for books. If it's hierarchical, it's like categories. If not, it's tags. So I'll make it hierarchical. I don't need to add any fields to it, so we'll save that. So here's our book custom post type, and here are author bios. Let's go add an author. Add in his website URL and a picture of him. This is where we would select the books that he's written, but we don't have any entered yet. So we'll just save this and we'll go and add a new book, Camino Island, and I'm going to paste in the review. And we're going to make up an Amazon URL for it. Some themes and plugins will take the first so many characters and make an excerpt for you, but Crocoblock Suite doesn't do that, so we're going to need to manually add the excerpt, and then we're going to add a genre. And now you can see how we can pick the related post type here. And we'll choose a featured image. Okay, so there's our first book. Now I'm going to pause the video and add some more author bios and more books. Okay, I've got 4 authors, 6 books, 3 genres. So the fun begins. We start working on creating the templates. Why are templates important and why are they such a big deal? Yes, you can do your own theming, but there's another reason when it comes to custom post types and custom fields. Let's take a look at the default for WordPress and you'll see that it does not show the field, the custom field we added. So we need a template which will show that for us. And in WordPress you have a few options. You can create a theme template, a PHP file that includes a PHP call to output the custom field, or you can use tools like Elementor Pro and Crocoblock to do that for you. And I'll just tell you, it's a lot quicker to use the tool, the GUI tool, than it is to code the PHP file by hand. But coding the PHP file by hand, even if you know PHP and HTML and CSS, and you don't feel that's a big deal, there's still a maintenance issue. If you want to make changes, it's a lot easier to go back and use the GUI than it is to go back and edit the PHP file, especially once you've gone live with the site. When you create the templates, you have to create an archive template, which is the multiple view, and the single. In Crocoblox, you do that, the archive, using this listing item. The archive is a list of multiple posts in that post type. And so you create a template for one of the rows. That's what a listing item is. So we're going to create one for books. And we're taken into the Elementor page builder. First thing you need to do is check your settings here and make sure you're set for the correct post type. So it looks like we are. So I'm going to create a 2-column layout. We'll start with a dynamic image, which will be the thumbnail. Then we will add the post title with link. And we'll put in the excerpt. And we'll use the Crocoblock dynamic field for that. And then we need a read more button or link. So we'll go to dynamic link and add that. And that's going already where we want. Okay, so we're going to save that. And now let's go create the template. We're going to want to do archive. Okay, so now what we do is we use this Crocoblock listing grid here. And we choose the listing that we made, which is the book archive. Now in our layout, we wanted to have a row. And we can set how many we want to show. And publish that. Could be I missed something here, but let's see. So we want archive, we want a post type archive, we want a book archive. Let's save that. Now go back to the front end and check. There we go. There's our archive. All right, first step done. Now I want to create another listing. This one will be for an author box on the single book. Okay, I think this is already assigned, but I want to just check it here. I've kind of gotten in the habit. Okay, so now let's add, I want to use a single column, and we'll add an image, and we'll center that. And then we'll add the title. And we'll center that. And now I want to use that the link to the author's website. And we'll center that. And save. Okay, now let's go create the single template for books. I think we're ready. We want to do single, add new. And we want to have a 2-column. And we'll put the book cover here. Okay, it's not showing up. That's right. We need to go and make sure we've okay, and choose a preview. Oops, post type, books. Okay. And let's refresh the page. Great. So we'll center that in that little column. Now we'll add the title. We'll add the post meta. There we go. And now we'll add the content. Good. Now we wanted to have the, let's put a button here with our link to Amazon. Let's use a Crocoblock button. We'll do arrow, arrow right. And the link we want to go to our Amazon link. Good. Let's see. Hover, we want to do the same thing. Let's see. View on Amazon. Okay. We'll center that. And let's put the button on the right. Okay. Let's add a separator. There we go. Now let's add that author box by using the listing grid. And we want to show the author box listing. We want to show one here, one column. We only want to show one post. Now it's showing up as John Grisham here, but that's only because that's the first, he's the first author, not because we've told Crocoblock yet which one to use. So we're going to need to go here and add a query here. And at this point, I suggest you check the Crocoblock documentation because there's some magic tags that we have to use. So if you log into your account on the Crocoblock website, you can get to the documentation. This is a documentation page for the JetEngine plugin. So we want to go to Post Relations to look at. And let's look here. We're looking for the magic tags here for the listing grid. And here they are. So we want to use related children from our post type. So let's grab this and go back to our site here, to our page, and we're going to paste that in and change this to our post type, author bios. There we go. So let's save that. And now let's go see how we're doing. Let's go to the front of the site. Look at our archive. Take a look at one of them, and here we have the author box pulled in. Nice. Okay, now there's one more thing I want to do. I want to create the author single. So let's go back. We have the book single. Let's add the author single. First thing, we set what it is here we're working on. Now we refresh. We should be ready to go. We'll add in the author's image. We'll add in the author's name. And we'll add in the content from the author bio. And finally, we'll add in the link to the author's website. Okay. Now we want to put in another row, and we're going to show the author's books. the related item here. We're going to use the book archive. And to tell which author's books we want, we're going to go back and get the magic tag. But this time it's going to be from the parent because we've defined books as parent to author bios. And we change that placeholder to book. Good. And there's John Grisham's books. Let's save that. Exit to the front end. Or I'm sorry, exit to the admin. Okay, there are a couple more things I want to show you. The first is with searching. Let's add a page. Let's call it Book Finder. Save that. Edit with Elementor. So the first thing I want to show you is this Ajax search item here. We'll drop that in. And we're going to say we want to search in books. I think that's all we have to do there. Let's add a heading here. Okay, save that. And now let's go take a look at it. And we got the Grisham books. Might want to style that output, but there's that working. Let's go and create another one. We're going to call this Book Filter. But before we edit it, we need to go into the smart filters and add a filter. So we're going to say, we'll use search by genre. And we're going to do a select list. And our select list is going to be genres. And I think that's all we have to do. Now let's go back to our pages, to our book filter. Edit that with Elementor. And here in the top, let's add a heading. And then let's add our filter. And you can see there are a number of filter options here. Okay, I'm choosing the drop down. The select box is one I think I chose here. And this is search by genre, JetEngine. And then I think I'll make this filter by genre, sorry. And then I think we want to add our book listing. Of all the books. There, now I think we're done. And let's go look at that. So filter by genre, you can see we have legal thriller, fantasy, mystery. So let's choose fantasy. We have the two fantasy books. Legal thriller, we have the John Grisham books. So that's really easy to add. A nice search functionality. Before I forget, we can take a look at the author single here. Here it is with the author's books under it. And finally, there's just one more thing to talk about before I wrap up. I just want to point out that many of the JetElement widgets now allow you to use them with dynamic text. Okay, so you can use the fields from your dynamic text in a large number of these, not all of them, but I'm just kind of pointing some of them out here. So they've really gone in and extended this quite a bit, and you now have more options. Here's a video player, and you can see that if we had a field with our link for embedded video, you could have that in there as well. Those are the changes that I've noticed with the Crocoblock suite and the dynamic elements and the templates since last August when I did the initial look. All the squirreliness and rough edges are gone, and they've extended it quite a bit. They added the post relationships. They added in the searching. They added in the ability to use the dynamic data in a lot of the widgets. So in terms of dynamic data and creating templates for custom post types, the suite has really matured and is looking really good. Hope you find this video helpful. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.